Okay, we're gonna use the extruder. Extruder. So we have the super duper clay extruder that is very versatile, makes lots of different things, lots of different shapes. The extruder is a device that forms clay by forcing it through an opening in a die. So here's an example of a die that is for making strips that can be used as handles. If you wanted to make a bunch of handles for a bunch of cups that you wanted to be the same to have a particular profile, you could use this die. And it has the capability of, you can change the opening, the profile that's created by this die by rotating it to that window. And then we have another one that will create a variety of shapes depending upon which openings are in the window. So to use this die, we take the die holder off the bottom of the extruder. This is the die holder. And we place the die into the holder and we turn the opening that we want to extrude so that it's in that window. And then we give it a little spritz of WD-40. And the inside of this tube. Everything that in the extruder that is metal that touches the clay needs to have a little coating of WD-40. And this will keep the clay from sticking to the metal. So it makes cleanup really easy. If you don't use WD-40, then the clay is stuck to it and it takes a good half an hour to clean this. All right, so got the die on there, got it in the holder, got WD-40, and now I'm going to take some clay. And drop it in, and then this plunger goes on top of the clay, and then wherever the plunger is, the nearest notches that line up with these lugs is where you insert them. And then you pull down on the handle all the way down, and then you reposition the lugs, push down again, and watch down here. And then I grab them with both hands and just tear them off and lay them on a board or in a container so that they don't dry out. If you're going to make a large number of coils, it would be good to put them inside of a bucket or a container so that they don't dry out while you're making more coils. So that's, from that chunk of clay, that's how many coils I can get. And then pull the plunger back out. There's some clay that went around the edge of the plunger inside, and we can reuse that. The WD-40 mixes with the clay. It doesn't hurt the clay at all. Then we remove those 3 pins, pull down on the die holder, and you see how it just separates so easily. Just like that. Just beautiful.
Does the WD-40 hurt the clay? Can it go back in the bag?
Yes. Does not hurt it at all.
Okay. Are you gonna do it again?
I'm going to use a different die. Now the extruder has a capability of making hollow extrusions. We can make tubular forms using a set of dies. So I could make a hollow circle this size, or we have smaller sets like this, and you can change out the inner dies if you want a thicker or thinner wall section. Like if I wanted to make some round tubes and leave them round, I might want to use this one. But if I wanted, I might want to use this die. But if I wanted to alter them, if I wanted to carve into them, then I might use this smaller inner die to give me a thicker wall section, more clay to work with. So to use these hollow dies, we have to use a die holder, a hollow die holder. So we have two of them. We have this one and this one. So they both work the same way. The center post has two nuts on it. You take the outer one off, position that inner die on it, and tighten that nut down. It just has to be finger tight. It doesn't. You don't have to use a tool. And then the outer die will go like this in the die holder. And you want to line up the holes in this holder with this holder, so that the pins go through and hold this in place when it's inside the extruder. So it goes together like that, like that. And the clay is going to come out between that opening. There. Once you get the first pin, then the other three are easy to go in. So now I want to put a larger piece of clay because that die holder, that inner die holder, is going to fill up with clay before any extrusion comes out.